The days are getting warmer, so I couldn't wait to get into the greenhouse and plant some seeds. It felt like such a long winter, but everything is melting, the birds are more active, the geese have returned, and now it's time to put all of my garden plans into action. I had our first order of organic compost delivered for the season, and I couldn't have been more excited to see that truck come down our driveway. I got right to work and started to top dress and prepare a few of my garden beds for planting.
The compost arrived. I'm so excited. It looks so good. So I'm excited to get this into the beds and start planting some seeds.
I'm reaching all of you. Sweet lo-fi thing that I put together, and I really don't have anything else. No, I really don't have anything else to tell you anymore. Words get on the way, time goes by. Ask me how I am. I think I'm getting by. I don't need to open up. I guess I'm doing fine. But I really don't have anything.
This year, I'm adding kelp and azomite to my beds to make sure the plants have a good start. I direct sowed some cold-tolerant veggies and herbs, such as kale, chard, spinach, arugula, radishes, beets, turnips, and carrots. The chickens got into the garden and tried to help, but they were destroying all of my new plantings, so I had to lead them back out of the garden.
Guess I never cared for anything.
The new plantings will need time to germinate, so I'll continue to make sure they get plenty of water during this stage, which shouldn't be that difficult with all the rain we've been getting. We had a couple trees taken down on our property. One of them had split and was hanging directly over our driveway, being held up by another tree, so we knew we'd have to get that one removed right away. Trees contain so much life and wisdom. Some of them live for centuries and are resilient to the many changes in its environment. Some people even feel that trees are sentient beings like us that can feel pain and hurt just like we do. And even though I don't like taking down trees, I do believe as stewards of this earth, it is important to help our planet thrive. So removing the dead trees allows the others around it to grow bigger and stronger. And by doing so, you play your role in creating a healthy ecosystem.
Look at all of these grubs from the tree that we just cut down that we're going to give to the chickens. They're going to absolutely go nuts over these.
This year, I decided to grow mushrooms. There is still so much that we're learning about mushrooms, the benefit they provide to our planet and our health. I'll be growing two of my favorites, lion's mane and turkey tail, both of which have medicinal uses and keep our bodies healthy and free from disease. I knew that I wanted to do this outdoors, so the first step was to collect my logs. Each species of mushrooms grow best on certain logs, so in order to grow lion's mane and turkey tail, I needed to find sugar maple trees. I didn't have any of those on my property, but a local neighbor did. I put the word out that I was in need of some hard maple logs for mushroom growing, and my neighborhood certainly delivered. I picked up the freshly cut logs and covered them with some tarp so that they could rest for at least 2 weeks before inoculating them. Then I began to cut my logs to size and started the inoculation process. I'm powering my drill with a portable power station from Jackery. I take this mini generator everywhere, whenever I need to keep anything charged or need power. It's easy to carry and super powerful, so I know it won't run out of juice before my project is complete. I used this thing for hours while drilling holes into these logs and only used about 10% of its power. This thing is amazing and comes in different sizes. Check them out in the link below.
So I'm preparing to inoculate my logs today for mushroom growing, and I'm going to be growing a couple different varieties. This is my first year doing this. So I'm going to start with lion's mane and turkey tail. And so I'm preparing each log right now by drilling a hole, actually many holes, into each log about 1 inch deep, and that is where I will be hammering in my plug spawns and then sealing each hole with some wax. And I'll be doing this for a number of logs that I've prepared and cut. So these will be ready to stay protected most of the season. And then I will be ready to set up my growing station once the logs have had some time to sit and inoculate with the spawns in them. And then they will be ready to harvest later this year. So it's exciting. I am new to this process, but I got all of my spawns from Field and Forest. They do organic mushroom. So they actually even send you some very descriptive instructions on how to do this. So I've been following that for the turkey tail and the lion's mane. And I actually got these logs from someone local who was having a sugar maple tree cut down. So she was nice enough to let me go raid all of her logs and find the ideal size and diameter for what I needed. And then I cut those today using the chainsaw. And these have been resting for a couple weeks, so they are ready to be inoculated, which is a very exciting process that I've been waiting to start. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these logs, finish preparing them. spend my Saturday night. That is it. So you just literally take a little bit and then like literally just like go over each hole. And it doesn't even have to be like a thick layer. Just put enough so that it just covers each hole.
The fungus is its own kingdom altogether and is the most common and one of the oldest species on Earth. They're everywhere. There's over 1.5 million species. That's 6 times more than plants. Mushrooms represent rebirth and regeneration. Fungi is present during death and decay, breaking down dead and dying organisms, returning them back to the soil, but fungi also helps to bring in new life. It is a great alchemist, a great transformer. Nature is intelligent in the way that it communicates with other species and knows exactly what to do and its role in the cycle of life. It's important that we learn about the organisms that sustain us, and fungi are a big part of that. If we didn't have fungi, our planet would be full of plant matter that would suffocate the earth. And what's especially amazing about fungi is what is happening beneath the soil through its cells that branch off in so many different directions, creating an entire webbed system that allows trees to communicate with one another and help feed each other. Fungi has more networks than our brain has neural pathways, so they're literally nature's messengers carrying information from one plant to the next. Without the intelligent species of fungi, this would be an entirely different planet.